Hey, what's up guys? Dizzy Nuts here. How you guys doing? So today we're going to be talking about the Sigma 30mm f1.4 lens that I recently got myself for my birthday. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so the Sigma f1.4 lens is a lens that I got to replace the Nifty 50. And basically this lens, what I like about it is that it's 30mm instead of 50, which means it's not as close as the 50mm lens. Which is not that it's bad, the 50mm lens that is bad, but this is actually one lens that I was looking at, and since I had a couple of bucks to splurge, I went ahead and got the lens. Now the lens itself is not cheap, I'll be honest with you. It goes for $3.99 and off of Amazon, but I did have a gift card, so I went ahead and applied it to the lens to get myself a little extra for my birthday. Now the good thing of this lens that I like, it has a really couple of good points to it. One is that obviously it's f1.4, which means that the aperture is wider, which means it can let in more light faster, and it provides better low light performance than the other lens. Now another good thing that it has is that it's really quiet. It locks onto focus really quick, and it's basically really quiet. Actually, you won't even hear anything that's happening. It's all internally, which is awesome. Now the only downside of this lens, and I'll be honest with you, besides the price, is that when you're dealing with something that is so wide on aperture, you need to make sure you lock in the focus to the subject that you're trying to capture, because what could happen is that if for any reason it's just a tad off, since you're shooting at 1.4, it'll look out of focus. So you need to make sure that when you're using this lens, which is something I learned really fast, is to make sure you lock down on your focus. And what I did in my case was make sure to set my camera to the owl servo out of focus mode, which means that as soon as I press the shutter, it is focusing all the time, instead of usually where you press it once and just focuses and takes the shot. So make sure you set your camera to owl servo if you're going to be shooting with these types of lens. Without further ado, we're going to head over to the parks. We're going to take some shots of parades, trolley shows and other stuff, day and night shots as well, and then we'll shoot some other stuff around the park so you guys can see the performance of this lens. And just like all the other photos, I'll be including the settings that I use for these photos. So without further ado, let's head to the parks. Let's go. Right here behind me, you can see there's a bunch of balloons. So we're going to take some shots of this, and if you can take them even in the night, it looks even better. So let's go ahead and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. And then what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that our camera is focusing on the balloons, and then we get the castle in the back out of focus. Now for this effect, we need to make sure that we put the f-stop as wide as possible, which means the lowest number. And what that's going to do is give us a really cool effect of the balloons in focus and the castle out of focus in the back. Here's how the shot looks at nighttime. Now we got to get a little close, because obviously this is a fixed lens, which is 30mm, which is the lens you see here. So we get a little close. But what's cool is that even though the shot, we're going to take it either from a distance, when we zoom into the photo, you'll see how cool the bokeh looks, the castle in the back with the partners in front. Okay, now this is the float that we want, because as you can see, it's not high like the other ones, and Mickey and Minnie are low, so we'll be able to get a really good shot with them.
Hey, the bird is a word.
Now when it comes to the trolley show, it actually stops 4 places on Main Street. One is right at the bridge, the second one is in front of the jewelry store, and the next one is actually in front of the confectionery, and then the last one is actually right here at the train station. So this is where we're going to get in those shots. And the reason that I'm shooting in an angle like this is because obviously the 30mm is still really close compared to the 17, the 50. So we're going to be standing right here in this trash can, actually right here, and that way we get them in an angle. Now one thing I will be doing, I will be putting the f-stop a little wider. Instead of 1.4, we're going to go to 2.3 and maybe 4, and that way we'll be able to get the person in focus as well as the rest of the gang.
Hello and welcome everyone to Main Street, USA. Let's celebrate!
I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA.
Now what we're going to do, we're actually going to wait here at the end of the street, because actually when the move it shake it comes the other way, we're going to have it head on, which gives for a perfect opportunity of some killer shots. Okay, the next thing we're going to take photos of, actually got wet by the fountain, is actually Festival of Fantasy, and I'm going to show you exactly the spot where we're going to be taking some really awesome shots. The only thing you got to get here probably like 45 minutes before it starts, and we're going to be parking right here on this line here, and probably like 10 minutes before the parade starts. That marker here, which is for the pole, they're actually going to put a tape. So what we're going to do is this, they'll ask you to stand a little bit further back, that you have your space reserved, and you can shoot the Festival of Fantasy coming towards you. Now one thing I usually do is that I'll sit on the floor shooting upwards at an angle, which I'll get some of those cool angle shots. But since we're shooting with a prime lens, which we're going to be focusing into some of the stuff, we're going to actually stay standing up, and that way we get the photos in a head on without getting the under chin photos. Okay, the next thing up is Pirates of the Caribbean, and we're going to go into this with the 1.4, see how we can get some shots on it. Now for settings, I am going to go with the manual mode, and the reason for that is I want to lock down 2 things of 3, one being 1/60 of a second, which is the shutter speed, to try to prevent some shake. The f-stop obviously as wide as possible, which is 1.4, and the ISO I'm going to leave as auto, so let it ride. He's setting up his camera here as well, ready to go. Okay, so in we go. Okay, so our first attempt is this guy down here. I don't think you can see it, but this is the 2 guys playing chess, where it's, I think it's a state where nobody wins, is what I'm told.
Stalemate.
Yeah, stalemate, that's what it's called. There you go. Hey, that's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
All right. Okay, so let's hit the ride. Up is Haunted Mansion, and we got our gear ready to go. I guess you're ready with the nifty 50?
Yeah.
Nifty 50, he's ready to go. And I got my 1.4 locked and loaded.
Betrays an aura of foreboding, almost as though you sense a disquieting metamorphosis.
My review of this lens, I think it is awesome. It has definitely replaced my nifty 50. Now again, I did start with the nifty 50 because of the price, and it's a good starting lens. I'm not criticizing it, but this has definitely replaced it. Again, this is a really good field of lens. It has got a good, nice piece, chunk of metal. It doesn't feel like plastic. Obviously, the price is very different from what you would pay with the nifty 50. Bet if you have the chance to splurge and you're looking to do stuff like portrait photography, or you want to do stuff where you get really close into the subject and have that really cool bokeh effect, I would definitely recommend this lens, which is a Sigma 30mm f1.4. Okay guys, so that's it here from Magic Kingdom. Hopefully you enjoyed these clips of using the Sigma lens 30mm 1.4. Now again, photography is an expensive hobby, so make sure you always take the shot regardless of the equipment that you have, because that's what makes Disney photography fun. Okay guys, so that's it here from Magic Kingdom. Until next time, stay awesome. See ya.